Matt Reeves, who's currently doing press for the Penguin, is letting out a bunch of details about the movie. And one of the very first things he lets us know, let me see if I can pull up the exact quote, is what the theme or the setting for Robert Pattinson's The Batman could look like. So he says here, the Penguin series ends a week before the Batman Part 2. So not only does the Penguin start a week after the first Batman movie, once the Penguin show is over, a week later, the Batman Part 2, that movie begins. So kind of makes me even more excited to see the Penguin. But he says here, the Penguin story plays out over the next weeks that takes you towards the end of the year. We don't play Christmas or New Year's Eve, but we're getting there. Basically letting you know when the Batman Part 2 comes out, oh, it's going to be snowy in Gotham. It's going to be Christmas. It's going to be New Year. And I love that idea. I don't know why my mind first went to, have we ever had a Christmas Batman movie? And I'm like, duh, Tim Burton's The Batman Returns. Probably one of my favorite looking Batman movies. Just because, I mean, let me look at that Gotham. That Gotham was absolutely gorgeous, dude. Just the Christmas setting, that opening scene where the Batman pulls up in the Batmobile and he has to fight all the thugs while it's snowing. Woo! Tim Burton's Batman is still one of my favorite looking Gothams. I love it so much. But I also really ended up liking Matt Reeves' take on the Batman and what that world looks like. And just imagining there's going to be snow, there's going to be cold in the air. You're going to see Batman over a rooftop with ice breath go, vengeance. Dude, that is going to look awesome. I cannot wait. So, winter setting. That's going to be cool. Christmas stuff all around. I cannot wait to see that. But then this kind of stuff led people to think, well, if it's winter, I mean, there's only one villain that fans have kind of been begging for that I think could fit Matt Reeves' style, and that's Mr. Freeze, right? So let's talk about the possibility of that before we get into more details with the Batman Part 2. Dude, as much as I want this, as badly as I want Mr. Freeze, I don't want to get my hopes up. I just don't think he will be in there. I think he could actually fit Matt Reeves's vision for non-fantastical, because remember we talked about that last week. Matt Reeves in an interview said, we'll push to the almost fantastical, but we'll never go full fantastical, meaning every villain he'll introduce will not have superpowers, will not be supernatural. It'll all be realistic, grounded people. I think there is a way to do Mr. Freeze grounded. All you need to do is give him like a, you guys remember that scene in like Amazing Spider-Man 2 where it's like Spider-Man versus Lizard and then Ice. Let's see if it pops up what I'm talking about. There was this scene where Andrew Garfield was fighting the Lizard, right? And he brings out this like nitrous oxide. No, this is not the right scene. Is it this one? Yes, it's this one. Oh, well, great movie, by the way. But there is a scene here where Andrew Garfield pulls out like this nitrous, and it super freezes the Lizard and cools him, right? Just do that. Just create a guy who found a way to engineer a gun that releases that nitrous. What I'm calling it wrong. What's it called? What's it? It's not nitrous oxide. It's something else. Yeah, it is. There we go. Someone just corrected me. Nitrous oxide is laughing, guys. That's why I'm a YouTuber and not a chemist. Okay, I could never be Walter White. What liquid nitrogen? My dumbass. There we go. There we go. Have a gun that just has canisters of liquid nitrogen, and there you go. You have a freeze ray. You have what essentially is a freeze gun, and this sicko just loves killing people with a liquid nitrogen gun. That's how you do it realistically. Like that's how it could work. There's no way we would ever get Mr. Freeze, the Arnold Schwarzenegger version. Arnold. Like, you know, he wasn't in the best movie, and they went full on. I still love his suit, though. I thought this suit was fantastic and whatnot, but like, I don't think you could do what he had, where he had literally the gun that shoots like rays of ice. Let me see if I can find the right moment. And dude, he had the whole ice layer. Yeah, you could not do that gun in Matt Reeves's The Batman. It's too supernatural and not work. But if you do like a mist liquid nitrogen gun, that could work. That could work. Okay, so let's just say that. But we'll see. I honestly think there's a 30% chance we'll get Mr. Freeze. I would love it. I would be so happy with it, but probably not going to happen. Let's move on to the other details, though. From there, he then starts talking about how let's see here. He does confirm that the Batman, he still is planning to make a trilogy. So let me see here if I can find it. Batman trilogy. He says here that he still envisions the Batman to be a trilogy. He says here, as the story evolves, I think the aspect visually of the movie should change, but I also think it should be the same DNA. Da, da, da. He says here, when you look at classic trilogies, it's not as if you go, well, that was just another format altogether. Like, I wanted to feel of a piece, but I think the idea that you're trying to push yourself in other ways, if that opportunity presents itself, sorry guys, it in a way doesn't feel self-conscious, then I would be open to that. As we go through exploration, well, we fully when we're fully into prep and we start casting all of that, we'll go through camera test and whatnot. So thankfully, I was getting kind of scared. I never believed the rumors that the Batman Part 2 was canceled. I'm like, we're definitely getting that. But I was very scared if we would get a third Batman movie because James Gunn's Batman is right around the corner. That movie's going to be happening in the next 5 years or so. And I just really thought, will it be too weird to have two Batman movies happening at the same time? Will audiences accept that, you know? And I was like, they might make the decision to just cut off Robert Pattinson's Batman. But thankfully, he's still getting his trilogy. And not just that, we're going to be getting more shows as well, which we have talked about. So let me pull up that information here. Let me bring up the news of the Batman. We had Matt Reeves recently discuss and tease what he's planning to do. So he says, Matt Reeves and Dylan Clark have another Batman spinoff in the works. Those are all new ideas for her, Sophia Falcone, and have nothing to do with the other series that we're continuing to do. So they do have another series in mind. They're looking like Sophia Falcone could be involved somehow, but somebody actually got a good guess to where they're headed, and I like this idea for a show. We had here a person during an interview ask him, saying, when asked about the possibility of a legal drama series following Harvey Dent, Matt Reeves noted that the journalist was thinking certainly in the way that our conversations have gone. Dude, what a brilliant idea for a show. Why do I still have liquid nitrogen up? My bad. Dude, can you imagine this? You have basically a Law and Order show with Harvey Dent, pre-Two-Face, I imagine, pre-Two-Face, where we get to see him represent or fight against. This would be a perfect way to introduce villains into the universe that maybe don't deserve their own movie, whether it's like a Scarecrow, a Firefly, I'm trying to think, a Calendar Man, other Batman villains out there that are grounded. You have them. Every episode could be him fighting a case against Calendar Man or another guy, and he's trying to. That's how you build up the world, and you throw more villains into Arkham as that builds up. This would be a really cool show, and it would also give you an idea of who Harvey Dent is as a character, because you have this show building him as a good person, trying to do right by Gotham, and maybe the system slowly eats away at him. He starts to see that justice isn't working. He's getting darker. He's losing cases. Villains are walking free, and then that leads us into the Batman Part 3. He goes full Two-Face, and then there you go. I think this would be a great show. I like the idea of this for the Matt Reeves universe, and that looks like it's a real possibility. We know they canceled the Gotham PD show and they canceled the Arkham Asylum show, but a Harvey Dent solo show where he's like doing legal work on villains in Gotham, I would not mind that. I would not mind that. That could also bring us now to talk about a little bit of the Penguin reviews, because there was some surprising ones. Let's start off with this one. Look, I don't want to bash IGN. I know it's kind of like the cool thing to hate on IGN and get on their butts. I don't know what's lately been going on with IGN, guys. I cannot imagine the Penguin is a 5 out of 10. The limited series worships as the altar of The Godfathers, Goodfellas, Scarface, and The Sopranos, and Breaking Bad. But Sophia's family are no Coloronys. Oz is no Tony. And in these 8 episodes, they're not given the time or space to get anywhere close to those crime drama landmarks. Dude, I again, I want to be okay because there. I know some people at IGN. There's one, Alex Varga, I think is his name. Really nice guy at IGN. Anytime he pops up, I'm happy with him. But they also recently gave Transformers, Transformers One a 5 out of 10, and I was like, I've seen Transformers One review coming tomorrow to the channel, by the way, and it is not a 5 out of 10. Like, what is going on? Let me see here. IGN. Just to pull that up too. They gave it a mediocre. I was like, what is going? I'm like, is IGN just clickbaiters now? Are they just rage baiters? Is that what they do? I don't know. But getting back onto the Penguin reviews, Penguin series. If we look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, which again, I know some people hate Rotten Tomatoes, but 93%. I mean, that should tell you a 5 is kind of out of the question. I can't wait to see it, and I think I am gonna do weekly review episodes when that comes out because I just love the Batman world, and it'll be excuse to put on the Batman costume. Um, so yeah, guys, I'm sure in this show we'll get some ideas of what they're doing. I'm still curious how much of like the Batman's presence will be lurking over the show. We've already heard Batman isn't showing up at all. We'll see if that's true. I'm hoping they're lying, but that could very much end up being the case. Everything's looking great for the Batman. Let me just see if there was any other quotes I might have missed on for updates, but so far having the set in the winter, possible maybe Mr. Freeze thrown in there. That could be so awesome. Let me see if the Batman, let me see details. Let's see if there's I'm trying to find, what was it? Culture Crave? Was it Culture Crave that rounded all that up? Let's see. Or was it the Hollywood? Let me see. There was somebody that rounded up all the Batman 2 news. Here it is. These are things that let me just say, they're Matt Reeves says they're working on the Batman Part 2 script every day. They're giving big portions of it to DC already. Start filming sometime in the first half of next year. Will be another murder mystery. We're getting very close, dude. The murder mystery part. I'm still thinking Hush is ending up going to be the main villain, which I'm not that crazy about because it already feels too similar. Oh, that's the wrong Hush. Great horror movie though. It feels just a little too similar to the Riddler as a murder mystery, but there's already the clues and stuff like that. And Matt Reeves did say there were clues in the first Batman movie, and like literally, that's like literally in your face. Hush, hush. He's gonna be there. So I would love that. I hope Court of Owls, that would be dope. And maybe the Court of Owls is like hiring smaller villains to like go after Batman because they're more of a like Illuminati type people. They're not really. I know they have like what is it, Talons or what? I forget the name, but the Court of Owls do have like mercenaries that are supposed to be on the level of Batman in fighting style that they send out. But it'd be cool if they also like hired villains to take them out. Did you mean the Diddler? Okay, and with that, we are done with the Batman Part 2 news. So let's move on now to the next thing.